Welcome back. This is Dr. Eric Roden, physical therapist at Neurology Solutions. Today we are going to be going over education on breathing and the importance of it. You probably hear me talked about it all the time in our exercise videos, so I want to kind of explain that a little bit further, why it's so important in the Parkinson's population and why it can lead to a lot of bad problems later on if you don't keep your proper breathing under control. So with Parkinson's, we think of the bradykinesia, balance issues, coordination, sometimes swallowing as a lot of these main problems, obviously the tremor. But this bradykinesia, we think about big, right, biceps, our legs moving slower, less coordinated. But the reality is it affects all the tiny muscles in our body too, very much in the breathing complex. So your diaphragm in particular, intercostalis muscles in between the ribs, your pec major, some of the scalene muscles, SCM. So you got a lot going on in the breathing process depending on your activity, if you're at rest or if you're exercising vigorously. So it all depends, and all of that is affected by the Parkinson's as far as that stiffness, that rigidity that sets in. If you're not practicing proper form, your body will go on the path of least resistance, and it'll basically slowly get worse and worse and worse, and you will not have that proper breath. You'll get that shallow breathing. So I got JP here. He's going to be kind of a demonstration here of what we're talking about with these different breaths. So more times than not, when I have a Parkinson's patient come in, first thing I see is their lack of proper breathing. It's a very shallow breath. So JP is going to explain or show here. A lot of it's coming from the chest. You can see even his shoulders are elevating up and down. And I'm even seeing a little muscle activation in his neck. If you were up close, you'd be able to see that. That is not proper breathing. One, you're getting minimal oxygen flow in, but in addition, you're not getting the junk out. Your body has this amazing ability to recycle things and get rid of things. So when you breathe in all the good. When you breathe out, you get rid of the bad. You're keeping the bad in your body. You're becoming more toxic in a way. We need to get that big, nice exhale breath. In addition, he's not getting proper rib expansion because all of it's up in the chest. That leads to more rigidity in the rib cage, less flexibility going up, posturing in that rib line and overall musculature, and just reduces your overall efficiency when you breathe. So the better way of doing it is basically utilizing what's called a diaphragmatic breath. Now this is not an easy concept to do initially. It's going to feel weird, it's going to feel awkward, but what you want to do, and what I normally tell people, is put one hand on your stomach and put one hand on your chest so you have that little tactile feedback. Now when I take a deep breath in, I want the movement to initiate in the stomach. Now the chest is okay to rise as well, but the diaphragm should be the starting point and the larger expansion. So you can see his bottom hand is moving more than the top hand. That is an appropriate breath at rest. When I'm sitting on the couch, when I'm lying down, I should be breathing in that capacity. Now, when you're exercising, when you're doing a lot of rigorous work, the diaphragm is a big billowing muscle. It goes up and down as we breathe. It can't keep up with that oxygen need and getting rid of the carbon dioxide. So you have to rely on a lot of your accessory muscles, the ones involved in the chest and in the neck. So that's when you see, athletes, sprinters, Olympians, you get a lot of this exhale, a lot of elevation because those muscles are phasic. So they're quick to move. And that is what is required when you're exerting yourself a lot. But at rest, what I tend to see is the phasic muscles moving when they shouldn't be. The problem with that, right, we tend to have a lot of neck stiffness. You probably are dealing with that. Well, think about it. If you're constantly turning on all those neck muscles, you're reinforcing that stiffness, that rigidity, versus if I'm taking a nice breath, if you're looking at my neck, nothing moves. It's relaxed. It's in a relaxed state. Not only that, but you're bringing in all those good nutrients, this good oxygen to those muscles. When muscles are deprived of nutrients and oxygen, they spasm, they don't work as efficiently. So the breath is such a critical component of any exercise routine, just everyday living. If you catch yourself taking these shallow breaths, stop for a minute, take a few deep breaths, and refocus on how you are moving in every capacity, mind, body, and soul. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time. Take care.